But Wessel, tell me about your artwork, because you've got a different page also on Instagram that I saw your wonderful art.
Yeah, that I've always been drawing, like I say, inspired by my mentor that taught me over the years. Tried things, never had a formal education in art. Art obviously was a big component of your studies, art and architecture, and how these things work together. And when I came to Stellenbosch in 2019, something triggered me to do lino work, and
Oh
I did
yeah.
a series of Stellenbosch and surroundings in lino, and that went onto a little exhibition in somebody's office, like a Christmas market. And he said, "Do you want to exhibit?" I said, "Oh, look, if people are interested, I can make some prints." That was so successful. I think we sold 45 sets of 10. So I had to print 450 prints
Wow.
of that. That was completely overwhelming. And I made contact with the artist in Cape Town to help me print, because or to look at a press, because if somebody told me you must buy yourself a printing press. And I said, okay, well, let me go and look at this thing before I invest in it. And then she ultimately helped me to print these things, and I bought a press. And um, uh, like I say, I don't regard myself as a professional artist yet. Um, so we donated all of that to a local charity. The income of the art that sold, and I bought myself a press, and that's where the etching started to happen. My dad was a printer. He had a printing shop in Pretoria, and I suppose when I opened my first tin of ink, I there was sort of smells,
Oh
that ink
yeah.
smell
I can imagine.
that sort
Yeah.
of relates back to as a child walking through the factory, and that's how that was the smell of the factory. And then I started doing etching work, and I suppose the way I draw is the same as how you would use a etching needle,
Mm.
and started doing etching work. But again, I'm actually just exploring at this stage.
But
It's
your
it's
work is
it's
amazing, really.
thanks.
I can't imagine that you say just exploring, because it's really beautiful.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so it's suppose it's my pension plan that I'm working on. As on pension, that I have something to do. Not that I
Okay.
want to go on pension, but so it's really interesting. So I really like the sort of discovery of the printing or print making, whether it's lino or etching. And just amazed if you look at at the masters like Rembrandt and how, I mean, I'm so intrigued about how he got it right, and how he made these incredible fine line sketches of, and did etchings of it. I mean, it is just and he had only the metal plates to work with, the copper plates and acid, and we actually cheat a bit. We use a cheaper material to do the etchings. We do it on a plexiglass and with a scratch, and it's the same technique. And he did it with copper, and yeah, just what he
Wow.
actually achieved
Yeah.
with that I find amazing. So yeah, it's a new discovery for me, and yeah, I enjoy it quite a bit. Just don't have the time always. It's because it's something that you do over weekends and
Oh yeah.
and in the evening. So yeah,
Are you a bit of a perfectionist?
phew, I'm very what is slordig in English now? I'm very messy in the
Messy.
way I work and the way I draw. I'm very bold, but I think there is a perfection in it.
Mm.
A bit of a control freak. I think the way it must be is sort of how I want it. But the way explore in the art is really just very loose. So there, I don't think I'm too perfect. Recently discovered a way to, after a art weekend away to Rivier Castile. It was a sort of an open studio to artists. I discovered that the one artist is working with milk cartons. You know, if you cut a milk carton
Oh
open, there's
yeah,
a
yeah.
foil on the inside. And when you cut the foil away, there's actually a series of
Oh, I
that. I call
see.
it the milk carton series.
Yeah.
So I did a few that you can see on my page as well, where you then almost etch as well. You ink the portions that you cut away, and the ink sits on the cardboard, but you polish away on the foil part. So that's giving you the white. So you'll see there's a couple of the lighter works. So I think it's all about that. Is like exploring and you need to look at other people's work. You need to see what they do, and you need to yeah. So if someone that you like, you need to explore, and I think that's where it's almost like research and development. That's where that sits, and
Yeah,
you need to put hours in it to actually make it. To say when the result comes out, it is something that it's good.
yeah,
I suppose it comes with time. You know, I can't expect to be a good artist if you don't put your hours in. And for me now, it's really to learn the ink, the machine, the technique, the different techniques. If you do it like this is the result. So I didn't have a formal education in art, so I didn't go through that 4 or 5 years of lectures and practical work. I need to discover it. So and that's what makes it so amazing on Instagram, is that you can actually see stuff. 2 days ago I made contact with somebody that does Lino as well, and then you ask him a few questions, and he gives you the answer. So,
amazing. Yeah,
and I suppose that's how small our world has become, and that the guy in Vienna is actually sitting in your boardroom, or the guy in Pretoria
exactly.
sitting
Yeah,
in your
yeah,
studio, and you can actually ask him a few things, and it's all to do about you just need to put in the hours. I think that's what it is. A guy that's playing an amazing violin is not he doesn't pick up a violin and then he plays.
exactly.
It comes with time. So I suppose you have to put in that to get the results at the end of the day.
It's true, and I mean, I've spoken to an artist in South Africa. I just can't remember his name now, but he was saying that he actually studied art, but that he quit because he felt that they're taking away from his original idea of what is, they were saying, now your art is too sort of childlike or imaginative, and because he wanted to explore his form of art, and he does the most amazing drawings. And I sometimes think, yes, there is a place for art education, but there's also a place for exploring, like you say, for finding your own thing, your own way of doing specific forms of art.
Yeah, I suppose art is also about the message. What is the story? What's the message behind it? At this stage, my art doesn't have a message. I think I just explore. So the stuff that I do is not. It's not. I think art needs to have a deeper meaning. So for now, it's really just to learn how to do learn the equipment, learn the
Oh,
techniques,
yeah,
learn
yeah,
the machine and stuff like that. And then, yeah, I suppose you will, there's a deeper message behind it that will come. So just to make a nice drawing is one thing, but what is the drawing actually telling you? I think
oh,
that's
yeah,
the other
yeah,
other aspect. But maybe in his case, it was making drawings, but there wasn't substance in it. I don't know. So it needs to. I think any artwork that you look at should generate in you a certain emotion and a certain
absolutely, yeah,
feeling. And if that
yeah.
is not there, then you can, I suppose, is it then it's just a beautiful drawing or a sketch or whatever, or a painting, or is it actually more, it's a meaning than the actual painting. It's it moves you more than the actual blue and red and yellow on the canvas.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.